Hey, what's up, everybody? Sorry I haven't made any videos on the latest 2.0 content. I've been very busy myself, having a lot of configs to mint as well as upgrade. It's been a crazy past week, but I want to jump right into it and help you guys out on figuring out how to mint your tokens in increments. Excuse me. So there's two ways to mint your tokens. One would be to run a node with your config, or the second would be to use the public RPC. So I'm just going to opt in and show you guys how to use the public RPC because running a node is pretty easy. I mean, you just run the node, right? So I have a .config here. You may have multiple configs named differently. So I'll just say I'm going to download. Look, I have a proofs folder here. This is how I'm doing things. You can do it differently, but it's going to be the same concept. So I have a proofs folder. I'm going to change directory into that proofs folder, and I'm placing all my folders in here, all my configs. I'm going to download the latest binaries. Be right back once that downloads. All right, so everything's downloaded. I've switched my commands over to ARM64 because for some reason I always forget that I do these videos on my Surface Pro. So if yours is AMD 64, just, you know. I'm just gonna clear the terminal here now that everything's downloaded and make both these files executable, which would be the Q client. Sorry guys, I'm trying to talk and do this stuff here. And then the node. And the reason why I say download both here is because for somebody like me who has a lot of configs, I like to check all my peer IDs for the config I'm going to mint, just to make sure I don't have any duplicates and something went wrong along the process. Because once you start minting a specific peer ID, let's say you have another backup with more increments, you can't use that anymore. Those extra increments are gone. You got to use the right configs from the beginning. So I've made both these files executable, these binaries. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a simple check and confirm that my peer ID for this config is good. So you just do --peer -id and then point to your config file. I'm just going to do this like this. All right, so this is qmcr, that's fine. Now, normally what you would do here is just do, all right, so I'll show you the first thing. You are going to want to modify your config.yml. You're going to want to go to the bottom of the file and you're going to want to delete this entry here so that you can use the public RPC, save it, and then Q client token mints all, and that's all you're going to do here. You can specify the config if you want. Like that, and run it. Now, I'm just going to switch gears here and not run this. You can, if you want to see how the minting starts, you can forward to the end of the video. But I'm going to show this for people who have multiple configs because there's a very important piece here. So I'm just going to go and rename this file folder to config 21. I don't know, maybe that's how you have your structure. That's how I have mine. So if you have the folder name and it's different than .config, what you're going to want to do is go into the folder and edit the config.yml again. And there's going to be, sorry about that, there's going to be two paths here. There's going to be this path for your keys and path for your store. Since my folder is now called .config21, you're going to want to switch this to .config21. You're also going to want to go to the bottom and there's the store here, so you're going to put 21. And if you're running multiple public RPC mint alls at once, for each one of your configs, you're going to want to switch this value here. So I'm just going to put 9021. So let's say I have 20 configs, I'm just gonna go 9000, 9001, 9002, all the way up until my last config, which is, in this case, say config 21. Once that's done, you can go back here and run the qclient command token mint all --config and I'm going to put down config 21. I'm going to press enter, and you'll see that it says gRPC not enabled using light node. That is how you know you're using the public RPC. Over the next couple of minutes, it's going to connect to the RPC, and it's going to start minting out. So if this happens quick, I won't pause the video, but if it does, I'll be right back. All right, so it's connected to the RPC, and you'll see that the first message that you want to note is publishing proof batch. So I have 14,000 increments on this config, and it's going to go down 200 at a time up until it reaches 0, and it's going to stop the process. Now, if you start seeing a bunch of errors, let it run for a little while. If you don't get any publishing proof batch messages again, I suggest restarting. The server does have issues at times when you're trying to mint due to all the traffic it's receiving. So yeah, just wait it out. Do restarts if you see too many errors. And once you reach increment 0 in the logs, it's going to stop. You know everything has been minted out. So I'm just going to stop this here. Another helpful command you're going to want to use once you're done is you want to check your balance, right? So you're just going to run qclient token balance. And if you're just using .config, you don't need to specify this --config, but since my folder name is different, I'm going to have to specify it. And it's going to use the public RPC to query your node balance. As you can see, I have 0 control. You need to mint out all of the proofs before it shows a balance. But yeah, guys, this is how you mint out using the public RPC. I hope this helped, and looking forward to making more Quilibrium 2.0 content. Talk to you guys soon.